Now, a new digitalized exchange market has been launched for Africa to use as a platform to control the pricing of mineral commodities on the continent. Now, this platform seeks to serve as a digitalized general store for all forex traders, crypto traders, shareholders, and investors in the financial market on the African continent and beyond. The founder of the African Consolidated Exchange, ASEX, Ian Muller, joins us via Zoom for some perspective on this new platform and cryptocurrency on the continent. Of course, first of all, how do you want African central banks to regulate cryptocurrency?
Well, African central banks, and thank you for having me. African central banks need to come up to speed and understand that crypto is here to stay. Recently, the New York State Department of Financial Services went into partnership with two large crypto exchanges and created a stable coin, a crypto coin, to onboard trading in the environment. Now, that should tell you a story where crypto is going. In other words, what is the next step that the central banks on our continent need to do? Central banks on our continent need to invite players like ourselves and several others on the African continent to contribute into how they should now start looking at regulating the market and onboarding players at all different levels, to create an enabling environment that they themselves can regulate and will bring about economic growth just about everywhere. I think that's what needs to happen. So what is happening there in the US with the New York State Department of Financial Services with the two large cryptos is not just an experiment. It is something that we now need to take serious, sit up. We can no longer sit on our hands and then just watch over and hope something somehow will just work itself out. No, I don't think that is the way it should happen. I think the way forward is the central banks need to invite us and have a discussion on the way forward.
And of course, we're having this discussion on the back of Ghana and Nigeria already introducing, a centralized digital currency to, offset most of these imbalances. What's your assessment of its impact on the decentralization of the crypto market in Africa?
Well, first of all, that needs to be celebrated. That move itself is bold. It needs to be celebrated. Other central banks need to learn from what the Ghanaians and Nigerians are doing, and they need to take that serious. But the digital currency coming on board is not necessarily a cryptocurrency. It is just a digitized form of the original currency that they've been running with. But we need to be able, or rather we who are running the different exchanges, are providing this bridge between the traditional markets, where now they're digitizing their currencies, and the crypto world. And so, yeah, we do celebrate them. And I think that step that they've made is fantastic, and it should bring about a serious economic growth going forward.
Well, Ian, let's
away the clutter. Sorry.
Great. Well, let's practicalize, what exactly is in force. A small entrepreneur with a disposable income of, let's say, $50 to $150, dollars. What are the options of making money on the ASEX platform?
Well, the many options. I can even off the cuff just mention about 10. They're just so numerous of them. But one obvious one is that someone with that kind of capital, they need to be able to go and invest in the companies and projects that are going to be listed on the ASEX. All right. Now, as you know, there's both a bit of risk and a great opportunity in investing in, startups and junior projects in just about every industry. And so the investors, of course, need to do their own due diligence and as consult a financial expert before they can invest. But those opportunities are there. They can go and invest in any one of the startups or any one of the junior projects. We've got a few junior mining projects that are going to be listed on the exchange. They can invest in that, and then they can expect growth from that. Apart from that, of course, there is the trading. They can trade the financial markets. There are so many assets that are now going to be listed on the exchange going forward. And so they can participate in just the ordinary day trading and generate an income from there, that which they can monetize literally on a daily basis and be able to make a living out of it. So that is one or two avenues that I can mention right away off the cuff that are clear opportunities for someone with that kind of disposable income. Needless to say, if someone has some marketing skills, they can sign up and become just an introducing broker and use that kind of equity, to just buy some data and some airtime and use the mobile phone to do some introductions, and they can earn income from that. And that's just an awesome way to. I started like that in the financial markets many years ago, almost 2 decades ago. And so I would recommend that to just about anyone who just wants to get started with that kind of money.
Well, let's end on the matter of risks, Ian, because we do know that when it comes to the forex and the cryptocurrency, market, the risks are so high to the extent that investors often shy away. Those who do not have the belly to contain most of these risks shy away in that particular regard. How do you foresee the future when it comes to investment within these channels, especially in a continent as Africa?
Well, I'm not sure what you mean, especially in the continent such as Africa, because crypto is global. And yes, there are risks. The volatility is quite enormous in the crypto markets. And so it can wipe out one's working capital, and they can end up without a shirt on their back. Now, look, there are risks just about in every market. You can go and invest in, let's not mention salaries, but in any one of the US 30 listed companies on the Dow Jones, and you could still lose your capital if something happens drastic in the market. So there are risks just about everywhere. It's just that the crypto industry is still fairly new. The volatility and the risks associated with trading cryptos is not a bad thing at all, because the volatility itself is what actually creates the opportunities. But the risks, of course, they're enormous. One needs to be very careful,
All right.
As they get started, they need to get some kind of education.
Ian, we're grateful that you could help us understand and appreciate the matters of crypto much more extensively. He's the founder of the African Consolidated Exchange, ACEX. Many thanks once again. Well, that'll be it for this edition of The Marketplace. For more news, do log on to myjoyonline.com. I'm Charles Ayete. For me and the production team, many thanks for watching.